Alright everybody, how's it going? Just finished up the first stream for Path of Exile 2 and the early access that just recently kicked off. I am playing on the PS5. Had a great time. Pros and cons, yeah, we're going to talk about a little bit. If you haven't already done so, you could check out my first impressions video, which was clipped from the first 40 minutes or so of the stream, or you can also watch the entire first stream if you want to see my progression so far. I am playing a monk character and sort of figuring out how that works. I don't really do a lot of action RPGs. We do occasionally. Most recently, was it Last Epoch and Diablo 4. I like Last Epoch way more. I think they're both great games, but Last Epoch kind of hit a nice little time travel sci-fi vibe for me. This game obviously coming in on the heels of Path of Exile 1, which has a great reputation as a really rich and deep action RPG. I did not play a lot of the first game. It's really not my wheelhouse because I traditionally prefer more story-based games. But that being said, this is being touted as something that has a much deeper story than the first game, which is why I decided I was willing to give it a shot. And now have some thoughts around my initial experience after we played it for around 4 hours this morning. Understand that my point of view is different than a lot of other people's point of view because I don't play a lot of action RPGs. They're not my favorite type of game. And there are some things that I noticed. There are pros and cons. I obviously did have a great time, as we were talking about during the stream today, but there are definitely some things that need work in this game. So let's talk a little bit about this. So first and foremost, the music is really, really good. That's probably my favorite part about this game so far, is just the music. The quality of the music is phenomenal. Everywhere we go, really, really great soundtrack. As far as the graphics go, this looks much better than the first game. This looks really good. I'm playing on the PS5, whatever's the default method, and it just looks great. The monk has been a lot of fun. Obviously, there's a lot going on in terms of like the skill trees and the skills that you take and the different gems that you can slot, and the different ways that you can upgrade abilities and the balancing of charges and mana and health. And it's a complex game, and that's probably one of the things that I found very interesting was, I think to someone who's a veteran gamer, this isn't that big of a deal, but the moment you start looking at this, this is an overwhelming chaos of abilities that sounds cool on the surface level, but I can also tell you, as someone who doesn't want to have to bring out an Excel sheet every time I play the game, this is not something that appeals to me. I don't really go in for all the, look at all these cool ways I can build. I like having some flexibility. I like skill-based games. I like class-based games, but I definitely like more of a guided approach, as opposed to here's all this chaos. One of the things we were talking about today would have been really cool is if they started you off with like, here's your monk or here's your class, and levels 1 to 10 you have access to like the first 3 inches outside of that circle, and then once you hit 20 you unlock the next 3 inches, and that gets you another 70 abilities, and then once you get to 30 you unlock the next 3 inches, and that gets you an additional 100 abilities. So that at the beginning you're looking at this, and then every once in a while you're scrolling out a little bit farther, you ding, you get a little bit more, you ding again, you get a little bit more, and eventually you get to this full thing. To kind of guide the new player, I think that's something they're going to have to consider if they want to bring more people on board. And I've already heard some people in chat this morning trying to be like, no, not every game needs to be for all people. It's like, well, actually, yes, games want as many players playing as possible, and this is one of those areas where guiding new players in is going to be to their benefit. This can still be a super rich, amazing, complex, deep system, just make it more approachable to the new player, because the moment that you zoom out, it starts you off right here, but then as soon as you zoom out, it's like, oh shit, like there's a lot going on, and I don't want to think about any of that, so I'm just going to focus on this. But it's cool that it's there, though. It's a depth and diversity of allowing people to really go lots of different ways with all the different classes, which ultimately results in some really cool combinations, which is cool. My number one, I think that the pacing of this is a lot different than other ARPGs as well. I noticed that being able to be interrupted and stuff. Let's go ahead and go here really quick and just like go up here to the cemetery real quick, just so that I'm here. I think that the time of abilities and everything, and how to use these things is interesting. Man, did I just get into a boss fight while I'm recording? I was not ready for that. Anyway, there's a timing and a rhythm to everything that is not... It's different than when I've played. Like, most recently we did the Vessel of Hatred DLC for Diablo 4, and that's very much you can just sort of rapid fire go your way through everything. You have a leech and everything, you're getting life taps. It's very easy to just constantly move forward without needing to worry about duck and dodge and tumble. And here it's very much you need to be ducking, you need to be dodging, you need to be comboing your abilities, you need to be looking at how the charges build up. So like doing this to build charges and then dropping this after it's got charges that does the lightning bolts, and then you know you've got this ability and your regular attacks. There's all sorts of craziness going on, and it's fun. It is fun. It is quite challenging, which there was a learning curve for me to understand that this is more of a dodge-based game than other RPGs, other action RPGs I've played. Once I got used to that, it was fine. Let's go back to the town really quick so we can be safe. I like all of that. There are some things I don't like that need to be addressed in early access. One is the fact that these are the two that stand out to me the most, and it was interesting that the chat was all on top of it. Like before I even mentioned it, like there was a fight where I was doing the fight, I died, I respawned, came back in, kept doing the fight, redid it again. It was a boss mob. At the very end of the fight, the boss mob died, dropped a bunch of loot, and then my character died to a dot before I had a chance to hit the potion because I was watching all the loot that had dropped, and I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I had a dot on me. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. And I was running over there to start picking up the loot, and the dot killed me. I respawned, ran 2 seconds down, and all the loot was gone. So the loot going poof upon death is absolutely a quality of life feature that they have got to fix, because that feels absolutely shitty. I totally got robbed because I did beat the fight. I did win the fight. Yes, I still had a dot on me, but come on, like, it should not unspawn loot when you go to a waypoint. Not a fan of that. Also, the map randomly resetting, the map's resetting, is a huge negative to me. Especially after I've spent like an hour clearing a map and then like, oh, I'm going to take a 5-minute, 10-minute, whatever it is, AFK. I'm going to go get a coffee. I'm going to go check with my wife, check on the cats, maybe make a quick lunch, have a sandwich, come back, and now the map is completely redone. And people are like, yeah, but you can pause and it doesn't do it. I'm like, I don't want to have to pause it. I literally went back to town. I'm in a safe place, sold, went AFK in a safe place, did my AFK, came back, and now I got to re-clear the map all over again because it decided to reset it. That's definitely something that has to be fixed as well. It's fun. I'm still sort of searching for the story. The initial cutscene was really, really cool. That gets you into what's going on. But right now there seems to be a lot of, monster killing, and when you add in the maps resetting, I've had to re-clear 3 different maps now for various things, and that feels very... It doesn't feel fun to me when I have to re-clear a map when I'm just trying to make my way towards a story objective, because then it's like, well, I don't remember where the exit was, and now I got to re-find it all over again, and it's like, that just doesn't feel very good. So I'm still sort of navigating my way through these things, and I don't know if these are early access woes or if these are things that they're hard coding in to be like mechanics that they want to be part of the long-term vision of the game. But that's some of my feedback so far. If I had to give it a rating right off the bat, like I said, I'm still waiting for more story, and I'm a big story first guy, and I'm waiting to see that. I would say I would give it a You know, I would have given it a 7 out of 10 at the beginning, like at the end of my first impressions video, which I did earlier. I probably would have said a 7 out of 10, but after the loot poof and the maps reclearing, I would drop it down to a 6 out of 10. It's very enjoyable. What's there, but it needs polish. They need to fix some of these quality of life issues. There needs to be some more story hooks for me. The voice acting is really good. I think there needs to be some refinement in the skill selection so that it's not as overwhelming to new players. If I can continue to see those types of polish and things coming out, I would say, you know, like I said, over time, we've seen 6s become 8.5s and 9s. It just kind of depends on how they choose to address things throughout the early access. A 6 out of 10 does not mean it's a bad game. I'm still having a great time. It's just on my personal metrics of the things that I find important, which are quality of life features and a heavy focus on story and etc. It's failing in a few areas because of the things I mentioned. So very fun, needs some work. Looking forward to seeing more. I'm not going hardcore on this because it's going to be in early access for the next year probably. So I'm not trying to do a full story clear. I'm not trying to do, a hardcore rush to the end, try every single class. I'm enjoying the monk. I'm taking my time. We'll probably drop in 2 or 3 times a week over the month of December and continue to take a look at it as we get through the holidays. But we got lots of other games to play, so hopefully we'll see you in those as well. So until then, stay safe. Daily streams around 6 a.m. on YouTube and Twitch, and we will be playing more of this, so hopefully we'll see you in the next stream. Until then, happy gaming, everybody.